Welcome to Sports Close-Up. Mike Fiorillo, Ed Marin's on assignment with me today, the athletic director of Allegheny College, Bill Ross. Bill, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. And officially the AD, last time we talked, you were in the process of being named the official AD, so been at the job for a while. I know you're interim last year. Going from interim to full-time, has anything changed?
Nothing really has changed from going from that interim role. It just feels really nice to kind of be over that process, and so we can really focus on moving things forward.
I guess the thing that would change in my mind, though, is now the total athletic programs are under your guidance and your direction. So let's talk about your vision for all the athletic programs. What's your vision for now and the future?
Well, we certainly want to get things back on top in the North Coast Athletic Conference. That's our number one goal. And how we do that, I think a lot of it has to do with the coaches that we have on staff. One of the first things that I told the coaches last year was that I was giving them back ownership of their programs. That my role as athletic director is going to be one of supporting their programs. I mean, they're supposed to be the experts. I need to trust that they know what they're doing. There's a lot of things that I have to be always checking, making sure that they're following rules, regulations, budgets, all that good stuff. But as far as their particular sport goes, you know, they're the owners of that business, and need to support them in what they're doing. And I think, as strange as it sounds, it was actually kind of a relief. Sorry about that.
We're competing with something right now in the background. Go ahead.
But yeah, as strange as that sounds, it was a relief to the coaches to hear that, and I think that everyone is being very, very aggressive, very purposeful in everything they're doing and trying to move forward.
Okay, when you said you gave them back ownership of their programs, does that mean that there's no micromanaging going on? They're in full control of their program. If they need assistance, they come to you. If you see something that needs to be worked on, you'll see them?
Yeah, I wouldn't say, no. I don't like micromanagement, but yet, like I said, there has to be a lot of oversight. Mm-hmm. But the ownership basically has to do with making sure that they have full understanding that they're the ones making a call on the field, that they're the ones that are going to come to me and say, hey, I want to hire this particular assistant coach, and here's the reasons why. And really, moving forward, there's a lot of things that we need to make sure that we're paying attention to, but really kind of putting all that back on them. As I told them, I said, hey, if this was your business, your livelihood depended upon this, would you be working this way? I doubt very much that you'd be working, haphazardly,
sure, lazily.
So you want to make sure that you're giving it your all. And so I think by having that focus, as I told folks, there's not much of a balance in the coaching profession. Mm-hmm. As much as people will talk about work-life balance, there's not much. So you better be someone that really embraces that ownership philosophy, because it really is who you are.
And it doesn't matter what level, D1, D2, exactly. D3, to be successful you have to work and put a lot of hours in.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this. You got the job. One advantage I think you have is and for the other coaches to look at, you coached here at Allegheny, track and field. You were very successful here at Allegheny. Off camera, you were joking about the little jar you have where you had a cinder track, which was part of Allegheny for years, but you coached under that and you won under that. Do you think that helps you being the AD here, being that you know the process of the school, the academics of the school, and you know what it's like to coach here?
Absolutely. Knowing that it can be done, and it just takes the right attitude, takes the right outlook on things, and not afraid to put on the work clothes and really get after it. And again, it's one of those things that's a part of the ownership philosophy is, whatever your motivation is, if it's to try to win championships for this institution, or you just want to make yourself better known as a coach. So if your aspirations are to go on and coach at Penn State someday, you know what? You better be winning here, because you're not going to make it there. I think that's one of those things, and we're able to figure it out. We can figure it out and make sure that we are winning. Obviously is very important to me. Winning at all costs is not. We will not do that. Will not compromise. But you can certainly win here with a lot of integrity, and I think that really stands out when folks see that.
Let's talk about some of the programs you guys have added to your athletic program. Why don't you tell us what they are to take part this year?
Yeah, so again, the North Coast Athletic Conference, Allegheny College is one of the founding members of the North Coast Conference, and ever since its beginning, we've been lacking 2 sports. And so we added men's lacrosse and field hockey on the women's side. So now we have the full complement of sports that the conference offers, and which we're really looking forward to that. One of my goals is to win that. It's called the All Sports Trophy, so it's kind of a director's cup. So they add up all the points from all the sports, and based on your performances within the conference. And I think Denison has won it 6 or 7 times in a row now. Well, it's time for somebody else to get up there. So I think now that we have a full complement of sports, I'm going after it.
That's a great goal, Bill, because what that tells me is, what you said earlier, you want all your teams to be competitive in the conference, win some championships in the conference, but strive to win, but do it the right way, and it can be done here at Allegheny. You've done it as a coach at Allegheny. So you don't buy into Allegheny isn't a conference that's too tough for them.
No, it is not. It is not. We have to pay attention to what our competitors are doing within the conference. It is one of the best conferences in the country, no doubt about that. There's a lot of national championships and a lot of teams that are placing very high at the national level coming from our conference. So it's very competitive. Boy, I mean, that's what you want. You want to be a part of that and strive for that excellence. Knowing that you're going up against the best and you're winning, and you're succeeding with that. There's a lot of pride that goes into that. So.
All right, well, what we're going to do is, with Bill, we're going to tour all the facilities here at Allegheny College, and you'll tell us what teams play on these facilities. And you added some new facilities. The Y Center, which we're talking in right now, is a pretty new facility, because I know when you were hired, you didn't have this location and so forth. So Allegheny is making improvements constantly. The new AD, Bill, has just told us that he wants to see the Gators do well in every sport they have. And I'm a firm believer that can be taking place also, Bill. I really think you have a great plethora of coaches here at Allegheny that want to win.
Oh, definitely.
And you want them to win. I know you got support from the higher people, which is important for you. So let's look at the facilities here at the college. With AD Bill, and Bill, this is the Y Center. When was it built?
1997 was when Y Center was put in.
And obviously the boys, the men's and ladies basketball teams play here.
So we've got men and women's basketball, women's volleyball. Hopefully someday we'll have men's volleyball. That's something that's another goal of mine, is try to get that sport introduced to Allegheny. But yeah, it's about a 1,000 spectator seating capacity for the Y Center. During the camp setting like this, we have the bleachers pulled back, so you can go side by side. So we have 6 baskets going on at any one time for practices. Obviously the bleachers come out courtside, so we have seating capacity for about 1,000. I mean, a lot more standing and up here on the concourse level, watching the games as well. So it's pretty exciting. We packed the gym for the game in February against Wabash College when we renamed the facility, the gymnasium. So Board of Trustees wanted to do it in honor of our retiring president, Jim Mullen. And so So we put that together and renamed the gymnasium. This particular arena, the James Mullen Arena. So very excited about that. So we will be redoing the floor at some point because the NCAA just changed the three-point line for men's basketball.
Right.
So we were hoping that we could have that role, kind of know if that was going to happen, so we could redo the floor, put his name on the floor prior, but it took a while for them to bring that out. So we will get it on there eventually.
So will that be on before the season starts, or
No, not
next
for this
year?
season. Next summer. Next summer we'll put that on, so we'll be ready for the 2020-21 basketball season.
Is that when they move the line back? Oh, so this year you don't have to worry about it.
No, they give us a 2-year grace period.
That's good idea. Now up here where we're talking is also where you guys have your Hall of Fame plaques. Tell us about the Hall of Fame that you guys continue to bring members in, and how's that work?
Yeah, so right now we have our 2019 class that's going to be going in September 20th, the 20th of September. We have the 1968 football team that's going in. They were PAC champions back in '68. We got Lauren Mosier, was a great soccer player. Liz Early, track athlete from back in my day. And Emily Deering, who was a very good lacrosse player for us. So really looking forward to when that's going to happen. So the process is just one where people can nominate any deserving folks or teams for that honor. We have a committee. That committee has some former Hall of Famers on that, has some community members on it, has obviously our Assistant Director of Athletics for Communications, Sean King, is on that committee, spearheads that committee, and I sit on that committee just as a kind of an advisor, and I want to listen in and put my 2 cents in as well.
Sure. It's like a weekend activities too, right? They get introduced to the football game, you have a banquet.
Right. So what this year, a little different, we're going to have the banquet Friday night. Then everybody will be invited into the football game the next day. We'll recognize them at halftime, have a little luncheon for them while we're up there. So yeah, it's a fun time.
It's a fun thing, and it's been going on for a while. And if you have a chance, come up to the Wise Center, and on top you'll see some of the plaques that go way back. And there's actually some interesting people that are in your Hall of Fame. You know, you got a Major League Baseball player on here, I think, and some of the teams in the past, or some of the coaches in the past. So it's worth looking at these plaques. I know from time to time people look at them and they're well done.
Well, and you find out more and more about some of the folks that were put in the first class, which was, I think, 84 or 85 was the first induction. And just the other day, I got a call from an alum who says, hey, I'm wondering if you'd be interested in a picture that I have of Bob Garbark. I'm like, sure. What's the picture? What's the significance of it? It's Bob Garbark with Dizzy Dean, arm in arm with the Chicago Cub uniforms on. I'm like, are you? Yes, I would like that picture. So, yeah, it's just you learn more and more about these Hall of Famers as time goes on, which is fun.
There's a lot of history at Allegheny sports, a lot of history, and we all remember Sam Pimer stoking the sidelines, and I think he coached more than football here too. People tell me he might have coached a little bit of something else. But anyway, let's go to another part of the athletics here at Allegheny. Now we're back, and we're at the indoor track. And Bill, tell us about this indoor track and who uses it.
Well, it's a part of the recreational facilities for any and all to use. The track team will utilize the track for training purposes, being that it's an elevated, only 3-lane track. We're not going to host any meets up here. But yet, when we were designing the new floor, which is again a Mondo surface, so that our athletes can utilize their spikes. What I had them do is I had them measure from the rail out so we could actually get exactly 200 meters measured, because it's like between 195 and 210 depending on where you're running on this thing, and a regulation indoor track is exactly 200 meters,
okay,
regardless of what lane that you're in. So the gold lane represents exactly 200 meters. So if you stay in lane 2 the whole way, you're going 200 meters, so 8 laps to the mile.
Makes sense. It's gold then, because
Yep.
it's golden to work out in. Does any other sports ever use this, like to run?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They're using it for their testing purposes. So you'll see some coaches out here doing a timed mile test or something along that lines for their sports. So yeah, it's used an awful lot. Very, very, very active though during the indoor track season, in getting our track teams, which is a pretty large team. Not everyone's going to be up here at once.
Right.
So all throughout the day, you'll see individual practices going on.
All right. And we're back, and Bill, where are we? What are we doing here?
This is what we lovingly call the blue courts. So this is an area where it's a recreational facility, so you can obviously pick up games of basketball, volleyball, tennis, you name it.
So this
can
for
happen on here.
The students of the college.
Students of the college, this is their space, where we were with the performance arena, James Mullen Arena. It's kind of off limits. I got to protect that floor
Right.
as best we can, so it's mostly for varsity practice and games. But here, pretty much anything, everything. But it also serves as our home indoor facility for all of our spring sports.
So you're in
and
here a lot.
training.
You're in here a lot in March and April, probably.
Yes.
Especially this past year.
Yeah. And then
So you put a batting cages for baseball and
yeah,
softball?
so we have 2 batting cages down there, which is really nice. You can get a full infield in here, so
Wow.
you can have a full infield practice
Nice.
for baseball, softball. They're utilizing this space an awful lot. As you can see, the prominent lines on the court for tennis, so the tennis team can actually play matches in here.
Wow.
It's a surface they can use to have varsity matches in here, so which is kind of nice, because again, we have nice outdoor courts, but because of the
So
weather.
they use this
Yep.
for matches?
Yep.
Tell us about the new turf you put down here, the new whatever this is.
Yeah, it's a Mondo surface. Again, Mondo is probably the most widely used indoor surface out there. Very reputable company, been around for a long time. We have our indoor track as well, has a Mondo surface on it, very durable. And again, it's built for multi-purpose. So we certainly wanted to go with the best we possibly could. I mean, there's other knockoff brands, but I mean, this is the Cadillac.
So when you say this is the Cadillac, how long will this last for you,
Oh gosh,
supposedly?
I think the warranty on it is probably over 10 years as far as
Wow.
a warranty,
Nice.
but it will last 20 plus years.
And you need that
hopefully.
because of the usage you have here, which is constant.
Correct.
Yeah, so you need a great
Constant,
surface.
especially in the winter.
Yeah.
Constant. We're talking 6 a.m. to probably 1 a.m.
So do the kids have like intramural schedules? They can come in and play intramural basketball leagues and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Who runs your intramural program for you?
Right now, no one.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
Okay.
But before I became athletic director, that was my role as associate AD. So I ran the intramural.
That's a pretty big job, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Allegheny is a very active campus.
Right.
There's a lot of students that are always looking to keep themselves fit or recreate. And,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is a good thing because more and more of us are, no matter what age, are want to keep fit. So that's a
You're not
great
kidding.
thing. All right, let's go look at your weight room.
Very good.
Allegheny College weight room. And Bill, you were telling me about eventually this is going to be just the varsity weight room?
Correct. It's been a little bit of a problem in getting all the teams in here, as well as just the general student body for their fitness needs, and finding enough time. The building's not open. I mean, it could be open 24 hours, but I don't know who's going to come in here at 3 a.m. and do a lift. But
and you have community members in here,
and we
too,
have
right?
community members, right? And then there's obviously an awful lot of staff and faculty that utilize the facility as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we're going to do is we have some racquetball courts, which unfortunately racquetball has kind of died off.
Right.
And so we're going to utilize the space over there and put in a very similar in size weight room over in the racquetball courts. Then this will become just for varsity athletes. With the addition of the two sports, I mean, you're talking about a lacrosse team that has a roster of 50 and a field hockey team that has a roster of 30. That's 80 more student athletes.
Yes.
So that's going to pose a big problem. So we're going to, it's really, really nice. The college has done a fantastic job with listening to that and coming up with some answers, and that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be great.
Do you have a person in charge of the weight room? Do you have a weight person that works with the teams?
We do. We have we call him a director of peak performance and fitness. Strength coach is a term that's used an awful lot if you're working varsity athletes only. But Bayou Pernomo is our director of peak performance and fitness. So not only is he working with our student athletes, but also offering programming for just really anybody else, the students, members, staff. So he does a great job with working with everybody.
Touched on this real quickly, and then we bring it back. Community members. Can a community member apply to become buy a membership here? How's that work?
Yeah, we work that through our Golden Gator Club, our booster club, because we don't want to be
Which you can access online.
Yeah,
Right.
but we don't advertise
Right.
the memberships. It's just the folks that inquire about that. Again, we have a limited number. It's always a waiting list.
Sure.
But sure, folks can certainly inquire about it.
You probably have some alum that stay in the area that
Yeah,
join that and
absolutely.
continue to work out with it with the
Absolutely.
school, which is pretty good. Anything to add to this thing? I mean, you have a lot of equipment in here. Are you guys always looking to purchase more? How does that work?
Yeah,
The
I mean,
coaches ask for something?
it's interesting when you follow the trends over the years in a weight room, which is kind of strange in itself in saying that, but this room used to be full of a lot of the machines.
Yes.
With the cables and the Nautilus and
machine.
everything.
Yep.
Well, now the trend, even for non-athletes, has gone back to the free weights, using what they call racks. So it's multifunctional rack. You can use it as for bench pressing, squatting, whatever you name it. It's all done at that one location, which is great because it opens up some space in here and get rid of some of those machines.
Yeah, and that's very true. So that's a good look, and we're going to go right outside for a minute because right outside is where all the cardio equipment is. Okay, we're here at the cardio room, and Billy, you were telling me off camera, you guys lease your equipment, and why don't you tell everybody why?
So again, when we looked at the cost of owning this cardio equipment and keeping it functional, replacing things, it's an awful lot of money every single year. We're a lease program. We're able to basically get them at the point where they're about to expire their warranty, you replace them with new. So we have treadmills that we get every 3 years, ellipticals every 4 years, and stationary bikes every 5 years. So now we're at a point now where every year we get a new line of equipment every year. So it's kind of nice.
And this is used by the faculty, the students?
It's used
by
constantly. I said of all of the areas in this building, this is used nonstop. Again, we caught it in the summer. Everyone's outside doing their thing.
Right.
But in the winter, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's hard to find time.
All right, now we're going to go to the pool here at Allegheny College. Okay, we're back and we're at the pool now. And Bill, tell us about your pool and when was it built?
Well, it was built in 1969, I believe, and you know, it's we've done a little bit of improvements to it. I mean, it's obviously a very fully functional swimming pool, not your Olympic size pool, but you know, again. It serves our purpose, that's for sure. There's a lot of history though too. We actually hosted the 1975 national championships here.
Wow!
So there's a lot of history here in the pool. And obviously, swimming and diving has been one of our most storied programs here. We've had a lot of All-Americans over the years. So
you really have, and you had a couple that even went to Meadville that swam for Allegheny too, and you get a lot of local swimmers from different schools in the region to come to Allegheny to go swimming because of the history of the program. It's been a well-documented program throughout the area of how strong Allegheny swimming's been, and also in the NCAC. You got stands up here for the parents to sit and watch their sons or daughters swim, and local people can come in at any time and watch the swim meet. Something that doesn't get a lot of publicity, Bill, is your swim program, but it's been very successful.
it has, and it's unfortunately the conference that we're in, either Kenyon College or Denison wins the national championship every year. So winning a conference championship means you're more than likely going to win the national championship. So it's very, very strong conference. Obviously the best swim conference in the country. As a matter of fact, someone was telling me the other day where some of the Division I institutions around here will not swim against some of our conference opponents because they know they will lose to them. So it's tough. But it's an exciting conference. Again, those that come here and swim for us, you're going to be a part of that exciting conference championship. And that's a national championship experience at the conference level.
No doubt about it. So we've toured the facilities inside, so now we're going to go outside and look at the facilities here at Allegheny College. Okay, right now we're looking at, what are we looking at, Bill?
So this is an aerial photo of Robertson Athletic Complex, so all of our outdoor facilities. And we're going to head up there next and we'll see where some of the changes have taken place. But this is a great representation of how the layout of where all the fields are located up at Robertson.
Yeah, and it is a nice layout, and your tennis courts are back there also, I see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we've got a lot of recreational facilities, or fields I should say, number 2, number 6, more recreational club sport usage. Obviously our baseball, softball field, the soccer field. This is the area that has gone through a big transformation, which we'll soon see, and made some improvements there. So the only artificial turf field that we had was Frank Fuhrer Field, which was installed in 2006. So we're excited to have another artificial turf field.
Now let's go up there and let's look at the new fields and the improvements on the ones that exist. Okay, now we're outside, and Bill, obviously we're here at the football field. Why don't you tell us about this venue?
So obviously the stadium has been here. It was built in 1948. I know that. And in 2006, thanks to the generous donations of Frank Fuhrer, we were able to do some renovations in here, turf the field, put in this all-weather track, put in some new bleachers. We've got a concession stand and a function room over there as well.
You got lights too.
And the lights, which has been crucial for our success in
Yeah.
regards to getting in all the practices, all the teams that need to utilize an artificial turf field.
Sure.
So,
And who plays on here?
so we currently, in the past, well, let's just say we had football, men's soccer, women's soccer has used it sometimes when they could not use their grass field. We have lacrosse. We'll utilize it as their practice and game facility. And then obviously early on in February when there's a little snow on the ground, we can't be on the baseball field, softball fields, we'll plow this and they can be out here taking some infield practice.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's utilized an awful lot by a lot of teams, that's for sure.
Anything down the road to make improvements in this area? Locker rooms or anything?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we have in our master plan. The college just adopted an entire master plan for all facilities. So as need arises, as funds become available, there's projects up here that, excuse me, there are projects up here that we will continue to add to. So obviously locker room space, adding the 2 sports, put us a little cramped in the locker rooms, but we're okay because of adding a fall sport and a spring sport,
Right.
and sharing of facilities. So it's not too bad. Certainly could make some improvements there. So the turf itself was just resurfaced just a few years ago.
Yeah, it looks
Again,
nice.
the turf, these turf fields have a shelf life of 10, 12 years, and you got to replace them.
Right.
So we just replaced this a few years ago. So holding up really well. The track needs to get a resurfacing here soon. So, but other than that, yeah, just continuing to look at making some little improvements and keeping things clean and looking nice.
And what we're going to do now is go to the 2 areas you just kind of just added to the college.
Yeah.
So let's go right here. And we're back here outside, and Bill, this is the new field, the blue turf field. I'm liking this. Tell us what this is.
So with the addition of field hockey and in men's lacrosse, we needed to make sure that we had facility that could, especially for field hockey. It's a sport that the pile height of the turf that they use is really, really small, and the current field that we have wouldn't necessarily bode well for that particular sport. So we had, this is an AstroTurf field that we put in. It's got a much lower pile height, which makes for a faster ball roll since the ball stays on the ground all the time.
Yep.
We wanted to make sure that we were as close to a regulation field hockey field as we can, which those turf fields are just like your indoor-outdoor carpeting. And but we needed to make sure that we had a multi-purpose facility because we also have women's lacrosse that's going to utilize this facility. We could have soccer games on here, intramurals, there's, you name it, could also be in here. That's why we put the lights in, so we could, again, like inside the stadium, a lot of users. We need to make sure that we're able to provide that opportunity for them.
You know my question is going to be.
Sure. Blue.
Blue. How'd that come about?
Well, again, when you start looking at field hockey fields, most of them are blue. It's the color of choice for that sport. So it just starts growing on you because you're looking at, some other, especially some of the Division I programs that have a field hockey only field. It's blue. And it starts growing on you, and it's like, we need to have a blue one. And it's our school color.
I was just going to say, it goes great with Allegheny.
Yep.
Blue and gold, you got the blue and you got the A there. It's going to be a nice facility here, and you're going to have seating eventually here. And first game is in September?
Yeah. Yep. Like I say, the company we're working with has got their task ahead of them here. They got to get cracking getting this done.
I want to tell people that are watching this, wherever you're watching this in the Armstrong area, if you haven't seen field hockey, I have, Okay, I'm from Long Island. It's a big sport out there. As you and I were talking before, Bill, and it's an exciting sport. Come on up and watch the Allegheny Gators field hockey team this year. Schedule's online. Obviously, all your schedules are online at the website.
Absolutely.
And I think it'll be free, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, be free.
Yeah.
And we also have a very exciting coach. You know, we made sure that we brought in someone that is, she started other field hockey programs. She's Valerie Lohr is her name. She does a fantastic job with the recruiting end of things. She's also very heavily involved in USA field hockey. So she's one of the best around. So I think we're going to be good pretty quick. So that'll be exciting.
That will be very exciting. New sport here at Allegheny College, girls field hockey. All right, we're back, and Bill, over our shoulder is the new soccer field in progress, right there. Right?
In progress.
In
yes.
progress.
In progress. So, unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate with us this spring, or I should say, last fall or the spring. It's been a year-long project, and it's been weather-related.
Yeah.
And but we're at that point now where all the irrigation, the drainage is in, topsoiled, ready. They just had to come in and kind of pat things down a little bit. So the game field will be a nice sod grass field, and the practice field, which will be right next to it, will be a seeded field. So that'll obviously take a little while for it to grow and take root. But the sod field should be, I would imagine, be ready to play on by the end of the fall. But we may stay off it until the spring. So.
All right, so the first game officially on this field will probably take place in the spring. So they'll continue to use the football field?
Football field, and then we have the new blue field as well. So that
okay.
we'll be able to utilize those fields for our
Yeah, you
games.
know, we did get a lot of rain, and you guys did a lot extensive work putting drainage in those fields, which was needed. And that took a lot of time too, because that's a process to do that.
Well, there was an awful lot of earth to be moved.
Yes.
This whole area was tiered, and they had to push a lot of dirt. So it took a while to do that.
Yeah. So when you guys come up to see the field lacrosse, you'll see the soccer fields and their progression getting close to done, and we welcome you to come up here. Right now, we're going to take a little journey to the baseball and softball. Okay, we're back, and as you can tell, we're at the softball baseball complex. Bill, and tell us about both. Let's start with the softball field.
So again, I don't know the date when the softball field actually was built here. I know the location used to be down where the tennis courts. It was located currently, so I don't know when that was before I got here in '96. But I believe the baseball field, I know that's been here since the 40s. Same location, obviously a little different look. But the same location. And
both programs have had success.
Oh, most definitely. These are two of the winningest programs that we have here as far as the long-standing history. Winning percentages in the 60%. So it's definitely two very popular programs, one we're very proud of.
And do you see any upgrades in either facility? I know the baseball field's looking really good right now. Softball also. You were telling me off camera though, softball likes to play on natural surface. Correct?
It's very difficult to find a softball field that's artificial turf. You know, they like to have the dirt as far as the infield. And again, you're only talking about, the distance from home plate to the fence, about 200 feet. So that whole area, again, I don't know what the square footage is of a softball field, but putting in drainage, irrigation, things like that for that small of a field is not that complicated. But a baseball field, I mean, there's more surface area than you're inside our stadium. I'm talking football field and track. So takes an awful lot.
So baseball field, maybe down the road, down in a few years, could be looking at some turf.
Absolutely. We've actually got a capital campaign going on right now It's trying to raise the money to turf both infield, outfield, new dugouts, new press box, stands in the inside the built into the hillside here. I mean, it's
that'd be cool.
Oh, it's an incredible
It is.
location.
It is.
And a great location for a ball field, and a great place to watch a game. We just need to make those improvements.
I think when you do that and that's accomplished, I think District 10 will be back hot in some baseball playoffs here also, which is a nice thing because it shows off your campus.
Yeah, because we utilize our softball field for a lot of the District 10 games. So it's a great location. Again, we're centrally located in District 10, so makes sense.
It's a good place for people to come up in the springtime to watch softball and baseball. Also entertaining teams. Allegheny has very competitive softball and baseball teams, and you wouldn't be disappointed to come up here and spend a day watching softball and baseball. And you know, when the weather's nice, it's beautiful to sit out here and watch.
Oh, you're not kidding. We've had a lot of activity up here this summer too. One of the, I think it was Mercyhurst, they were returfing their turf baseball field, and they had a tournament scheduled, and so they brought it down here, and they utilized our facility while they were doing their resurfacing project. So we had a lot of activity over here over the summer.
It's nice that you can work together with different colleges.
Oh yeah, good relationship with those folks.
That's a good thing. All right, let's go see the tennis court. All right, our final segment, and Bill, big area down there is your tennis courts. Tell us about your tennis courts.
So the tennis courts, again, they was built before I got here in '96. Like I said, that's where the softball field used to be. But 12 courts. We do have lights on them as well, and we resurfaced 6 of the courts here probably, I want to say maybe 8 years ago. And then the other 6 are going to be resurfaced here either at the end of the fall season or next summer, depending on when we can fit that into the schedule. And again, it's just something that needs to be done. You know, it's a big plot of asphalt that you've got to make sure that you're taking care of. So it's a great setting. It's something that, you know, we have ideas on how we want to continue to make improvements down there.
Got lights for it.
Yep, we got lights for it. We've got, you know, this building over here actually has a changing room in that for the tennis team. So
nice.
They have again, they can utilize the locker rooms up at the stadium, but obviously it's a little bit of distance. So they do have a changing area that they can utilize, and restrooms back on the back side of that. And then also down there you can see we've got our throws facility. So when we have our big track meet, we only host one meet every year, the Gator Invite. It's now the Marty Goldberg Gator Invite.
That's great.
Yeah, named after
great guy.
Great guy.
Long-term soccer coach and official for track and everything. Yeah, Marty's a good man.
Yeah, and so all the throwing events are down here. They have their own little venue, so they can do all their throws, and we have it's a great turnout. Very popular facility because you don't normally see that. It's usually spread out all over for the throws, and it's all in one location. So the coaches love it, the athletes love it because they can cheer each other on.
Yeah. And then cross country starts?
Yeah, so this also is a part of our cross country course. You know, this big open field here that we utilized back before we had all the artificial turf. Football used to practice down here an awful lot.
That's why you see the goalpost.
That's why the goalpost is still up.
Where Sam Thomas spent a lot of time down there, one of the former coaches of Allegheny football.
And so now we use it for a lot of our club sports, rugby, ultimate frisbee. Some of the teams will still utilize it for practice when they can't. If they wanted to practice during the day instead of waiting till the evening, they'll be able to come down here. But our cross country course starts right there on that field, and then utilizes the trail system that we have all throughout our property, as well as across the fields that we have. So
just going to say that your trail system, a lot of community members walk that trail. Yeah. Yeah, early evening or sometimes early morning as they prepare to unwind from their day. They really like that trail you guys have.
Well, this is an incredible setting up here.
Beautiful,
And you've got the valley that you can look
Yeah.
out over, and different varied terrain. We actually hosted the regional cross-country championships here in 2004, and it was very popular. People wanted
Yeah.
us to continue to host. The problem we have with that is in November,
The
the weather.
Exactly.
You really want to take that
Yeah.
risk,
You
but
might be running in snow.
yeah, we took that risk one year. It worked out great, but I don't know if we'll just leave it there, I think.
You have another sport that obviously they're not going to play or practice here, and that's your golf team, and that's been a great successful program here at Allegheny. What do you guys play?
So we utilize the Meadville Country Club.
Nice
and,
course.
Beautiful course. They do a fantastic job keeping that facility looking top notch, and also just a great relationship that we have between the college and the country club. So we're very fortunate that the golf teams can get out there often and play.
Yeah, and the golf pro Mike Ferry is very welcoming to you guys. Also, too, you guys hold your big Gator fundraiser out there, golf outing,
The
correct?
golf outing is
In fact,
out there.
this year it was so big you had it at the Country Club in Venango Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. So they're very nice. So the folks that are on that committee had that foresight and figured that this was probably going to be a popular year. And so, yeah, we sold out as far as the spots that are available at the country club. So we used Venango.
Another
golf
nice course.
Another beautiful course, not too far away from the
Right.
country club. So utilize that as kind of an overflow, and it worked out great. I think that's going to continue to grow and be very, very popular. So yeah, because everyone who played there got to come back and be a part of the festivities of the country club.
Right.
So it was,
Right.
it was nice.
It was very nice. You know, we got to see all the facilities. Bill, you're going to be a very busy man. So we want to thank you for some time you gave us today. We are looking forward to all the Allegheny sports competing and winning some championships in the NCAC. I know you do as well. Anything you want to leave the people watching this about Allegheny sports, or what do you want to tell the viewers?
Yeah, I just invite everybody in the viewing area to come on back. If you haven't been to a contest in a while, come on back and see what we're all about. We got some great coaches. We got some great young men and women on our teams. The institution has been fully vested into seeing our athletic programs on the rise by the evidence of the addition of the sports and the facilities. There's an awful lot of money put into that, so very appreciative of the college doing that. And there's a lot of exciting things about to happen. So come on back and be a part of it.
All right, for Bill, this is Mike saying thanks for watching Sports Close-Up on Armstrong.